South Africa may very well be standing on the brink of one of the most disruptive mass unrests in a very long time. But just as ordinary law-abiding citizens now more than ever need this country's law enforcement agency to be functioning optimally, the South African Police Service is absolutely falling apart. Millions of South Africans are currently focused on the possibility of violent nationwide anti-immigration protests on the 30th of June this year, which of course we know is only in 6 days' time now. All the while, something extraordinary is unfolding behind the scenes with our police force. The very police force that would be responsible for containing large-scale unrests and criminality that might erupt next week now seem to be falling apart through a large-scale internal conflict involving corruption and organized crime, so much so that it threatens to completely paralyze the force as we know it. It's been almost a year since the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa launched the so-called Madlanga Commission, another one of his millions of commissions, a commission whose task it was to investigate allegations of criminality, political interference and of course corruption within the criminal justice system as a whole. This, of course, followed the explosive allegations made by KwaZulu-Natal's Provincial Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi with regards to widespread corruption involving politicians, senior police officers, prosecutors, intelligence operatives and even elements of the judiciary itself. Following the testimony of Mkhwanazi and others before the Madlanga Commission, arrest warrants were suddenly issued for 2 senior police intelligence officers who also testified with regards to corruption in the South African police force, namely Dumisani Khumalo and Nozipho Madondu, both of whom testified alongside Mkhwanazi about the prevalent corruption within the criminal justice system. And now, Mkhwanazi has come out with the claim that these arrest warrants have been issued with the deliberate intent of further obstructing justice and protecting the corrupt fat cats at the top of from actual investigation against them. Of course, as we know on this channel, we've made a video where we have explained fully that the entire Mkhwanazi testimony was very likely just a smokescreen for a political factional battle within the South African police force. We talked about the fact that there is a factional battle within the ANC and many of these police officers or high-ranking police officers are political appointees by the previous Zuma administration. On the other hand, there are many that are now political appointees by the Ramaphosa faction that came to power after Jacob Zuma. Of course, we also know that many of those making allegations of corruption are the ones that were appointed by the Zuma faction within the ANC, and most that are being accused of corruption are within the Ramaphosa faction or were appointed by the Ramaphosa faction, which makes it quite obvious, to say the least, to most of us watching this video, that there is more to this story than just some simple hero standing up against corruption and then a bunch of other corrupt officials. The much more likely version of events is that it is just 2 corrupt factions fighting one another and arresting one another for corruption. But of course, this infighting within the police is tearing the force apart from the inside. And this is making an already very incompetent and very corrupt organization such as the South African Police Force fall apart even more than we have witnessed over the past 20 years. Stay tuned, because in today's video we are going to explore how the South African Police Force is being torn apart by means of this internal conflict at the worst possible moment, of course, just as this country faces the looming threat of what could become the bloodiest day in a very long time in this country. Of course, what we expect next week. To understand what is exactly going on with the South African police force currently. We need to understand where these investigations and arrest warrants are coming from. In early July last year, we know that Mkhwanazi stepped up to the podium and dropped what would become one of the most explosive, politically loaded bombshells in years. He accused most of the country's most senior police officials, most who were, of course, appointed by Ramaphosa, and even cabinet ministers, sitting cabinet ministers right now, of being part of a large criminal network that had infiltrated law enforcement and the judiciary at every single level. During this dramatic press conference at the time, he claimed that Senzo Mchunu, the Minister of Police, as well as Shadrack Sibiya, the Deputy National Commissioner, had interfered in many sensitive investigations by disbanding specialized political killing task teams in KwaZulu-Natal. Of course, this unit was probing into a syndicate behind the politically motivated assassinations of ANC members in the Zulu heartland of KwaZulu-Natal. Of course, also the parts of the country where the so-called Zuma faction or the Radical Economic Transformation faction within the ANC is the strongest. Mkhwanazi claimed these investigations uncovered digital evidence through WhatsApp chats linking Minister Mchunu and business associates to this criminal network that controlled police, prosecutors, Metro Police, correctional services, and even the judiciary. He also asserted that a crime syndicate led by alleged contractors and cartel associates had effectively captured the state in its entirety, or state institutions in its entirety, and that investigations into high-profile murders and cartel activity were deliberately stalled by other police officers who happened to be the ones appointed by Ramaphosa. Now, arrest warrants have been issued for these two key witnesses linked to Mkhwanazi in the Mkhwanazi team, if you want to put it like that, ordering them to surrender at the Brooklyn police station with overnight bags. And this is where the story gets really interesting. The two officers who are to be arrested are major players in the intelligence service of the South African Police Force. And, of course, they are key witnesses in the Madlanga Commission inquiry. Dumisani Khumalo is the head of the South African Police Service's Criminal Intelligence Unit and holds one of the most powerful intelligence positions in South African law enforcement. He is, along with Mkhwanazi, one of the major whistleblowers in the ongoing crisis facing the South African police services. In his testimony in January, he provided detailed evidence on interference in investigations currently being done by the police force, as well as internal sabotage and, of course, Minister Senzo Mchunu's decision to disband the political killing stars team, which he previously was the leader of. Nozipho Madondo is the head of the Crime Intelligence Analysis Center and as a Major General in Crime Intelligence has been one of Khumalo's closest senior allies within the crime intelligence flank of the police force. These are, of course, not just two random police officers. They are two of the most senior and politically sensitive figures in South Africa's intelligence apparatus. In response to these arrests, Mkhwanazi, on the other hand, highlighted that there now appears to be a war brewing within the South African police force between the South African Police Services and, of course, the National Prosecuting Authority, or the NPA. And interestingly, despite these arrest warrants being issued, someone high up in the command chain, nobody knows who, of course, told investigating officers not to execute these arrests, at least not for now. But who has the authority to stop the execution of an arrest warrant after the process has already been completed in the courts? After all, if senior police officers involved in one of the most high-profile investigations in this country's history can be ordered to surrender one moment and then left untouched because another order came from another place the other moment, this really raises a serious question about who is truly calling the shots behind the scenes. Or do we have multiple people calling shots, pulling the police force from different angles onto different spaces, also within the judiciary, of course, because as we know, they are the ones that issue these warrants. And in the midst of all of this chaos within the police force and the judiciary, in the midst of this war brewing between the within the South African Police Service and between the South African Police Service and the NPA, which of course falls under the jurisdiction of Mamoloko Kubai, the South African Minister of Justice, this country is under threat of being torn apart by vigilante xenophobic violence within some days from now, as we have pointed out in yesterday's video, which has been threatened so much over the past few days on social media by these, let's call them just anti-immigrant groups. Because in the midst of what Mkhwanazi himself describes as a war between factions within the South African criminal justice system, the country now stands on the brink of this nationwide violent confrontation between so-called locals and so-called foreigners on the 30th of June this year, which is in less than a week's time. And so, at the very moment when 60 million South Africans are being told that mass anti-illegal immigration protests would bring this country to a halt within days, the very institution responsible for maintaining law and order appeared to be turning their fire on each other. And regardless of whether Mkhwanazi is right or wrong, or whether his faction is right or wrong within the police service, or if this is even a battle between factions in the first place that it has a political agenda, or whether somebody actually wants to arrest a criminal for the first time ever in this country, and regardless of whether Khumalo and Madonda are innocent or guilty, the one reality that we are seeing that is becoming obvious in front of our very eyes is that South Africa's law enforcement agencies are falling apart right before our very eyes, or at least what was left of them after they had been falling apart for the past 20 years. Or, if I had to put it another way, they have been falling apart for the last 20 years very slowly, but now it seems that the decline is becoming much more rapid as ANC factions between ANC appointees in the ANC is going at each other's throats. And for us, as ordinary citizens, law-abiding citizens of this country, these developments most certainly do not inspire confidence in terms of how the authorities plan to handle the potential chaos and anarchy that is bound to erupt in this country next week. In light of the chaos engulfing SAPS, it might not be a bad idea to prepare yourself in the best possible way for what might happen next week. Check out yesterday's video where we outline a full report of everything that we know concerning what is being planned and what is about to unfold on the 30th of June when this massive anti-immigration protest, or whatever you want to call it, will take place. You can watch that full video by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And do consider supporting the work that we put in every single day here at the Willem Petscher Group, making videos such as these and all the other things that we are doing by becoming a paying member. Simply follow the easy steps on the banner underneath me to invest in us so we can continue our work. Thanks, goodbye, and God bless.